ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके मुक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वैष्णवांशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्रील प्रभुपाद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So 1.5.5.
6 months. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So one of you kindly volunteer. Savai Bhavan.
Savai Bhavan.
Savai Bhavan Veda.
Savai Bhavan Veda.
Samasta Guhyam.
Samasta Guhyam.
Upasito Yat Purushaha Puranaha.
Upasito Yat Purusha Puranaha.
Paravaresho.
Paravaresho.
Manashaiva Vishwam.
Manaseva Vishwam.
Srijati Avati Ati Gunair Asangaha.
Srijate Vyati Gunairaseng Sangha.
Srijati Avati Ati Gunair Asangaha.
Srijati Vyati Ati Gunairasanga.
Translation.
माता जी मेरे पास हिंदी की बुक है.
Okay, अच्छा, okay. Anu? Acha, you.
Yeah, I thought it will be screen shared.
Please
I'll
share
get
the
it.
screen, Mataji.
Okay, no, my laptop is
Okay.
out of charge. Maybe phone se hi log kar rahi hu. It's okay, I'll read. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. Okay, so who is saying this? Bharti? कौन कह रहे हैं ये?
I think Vyasdev. Vyasdev ji.
Yeah, just go to the previous verse. You will know. Shri Vyasdev said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one who is self-born without mundane father and mother. So Vyasadeva is talking to Brahmaji.
No, Vyasdev is talking to Narad Muni.
Narad Muni?
The conversation is between Vyasdev and Narad Muni, no?
Yeah, Narad Muni appearance उनका आया था ना जब 4.5.
Narad Muni is self-born? Is it? You are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of Brahma, who is self-born. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, Narad Muni is the offspring of Brahma, who is self-born. He is born without a father and mother. और उनके पुत्र हैं Narad. So why Narad should be approached is explained in this verse, in the 6th verse. My Lord, everything that is mysterious is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature. Gunatit, transcendental to the three modes. A person who is 100% engaged in the service of the Lord is the emblem of all knowledge. So, whoever is engaged 100% or completely in the service of the Lord automatically should be considered all knowledgeable. In the first line itself is a very big statement that Prabhupada is making. Just by serving the Lord, you will be considered all knowledgeable, regardless of whether you are literate or illiterate. Forget about degrees and accumulating knowledge. Such a devotee of the Lord, in full perfection of devotional service, is also perfect by the qualification of God. Again, second statement, second line, another statement. Such a devotee of the Lord in full perfection of devotional service, bhakti. If he is a pure bhakta or a perfect bhakta, he is also perfect by the qualification of Krishna. Why? Because Tene Brahma Hridaya. From the heart, knowledge is automatically transmitted to him by the Paramatma, to the Atma. So you don't need any external means of qualification or acquiring knowledge. Bhakti is so strong and so powerful. From within, you become knowledgeable and fully qualified. As such, the eightfold perfections of mystic power, eightfold Ashtsiddhi, constitute very little of his godly opulence. A devotee like Narad can act wonderfully by his spiritual perfection, which every individual is trying to attain. Srila Narad is a 100% perfect living being, although he is not equal to Krishna. So, I think this is quite self-explanatory. Any questions here? Or any realizations? Even the Ashtsiddhis constitute very little of his godly opulence. The opulence of bhakti overshadows the opulence of Ashtsiddhi. That's nothing in front of bhaktya. That's what he's trying to say. Shall we go to the next one? Okay. Tvam paryatan arka
Tvam paryatan narka
iva trilokim
iva trilokim
antascharo Vayu
Antascharo Vayu
Ivatma Sakshi
Ivatma Sakshi
Paravare Brahmani
Paravare Brahmani
Dharmato Vrataiha
Dharmato Vrataiha
Sanatasya Menyunam
Sanatasya Me Nyunam
Alam Vichakshva.
Alam Vichakshva.
Like the sun, your goodness can travel anywhere in 3 worlds. And like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you're as good as the all-pervasive super soul. Please therefore find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in transcendence under disciplinary regulations and vows. So, Brahma's son Narad, Narad's disciple Vyasadeva. So what is Vyasadeva telling Narad? He's saying you're as good as Krishna. You're not Krishna. You're as good as him. How? You're like the sun, which means everywhere, wherever the sun falls, there's Roshni. There is no darkness of ignorance. There is light of knowledge everywhere. So your goodness can travel in all the 3 worlds. Sun is illuminating not just planet Earth, all the 3 worlds. And you're also like air. कहीं भी घुस सकती है ना? Cupboards के अंदर भी, दरवाजों के पीछे भी. Air does not need, a lot of space. It can just penetrate anywhere. He's saying you are like air, and you can penetrate the internal regions. You can penetrate into our hearts and know exactly how much dirt is there inside. You cannot be fooled from the outside. So you are as good as the all-pervasive super soul. Super soul is also Sarvavyapi. So he's saying you also are as good as him. Please therefore find out the deficiency in me. So he's requesting his spiritual master. It's the right etiquette. Not only etiquette, it's the right place to check whether you're doing fine. You ask your spiritual master to find out the deficiency in you, even though I'm absorbed in transcendence. I'm completely absorbed in bhaktya, in bhakti. That too under disciplinary regulations and vows. I'm following an austere life, following all the rules, regulations, and vows of the Shastra. And I'm also following the path of devotional service, yet he's begging in his guru, please find out the deficiency in me. So, transcendental realization, pious activities, worshipping the deities, charity, mercifulness, non-violence, and studying the scriptures under strict disciplinary regulations are always helpful. So all of them are needed, even by advanced devotees. We are talking about Vyasadeva, who is a literary incarnation of Krishna. Look at his humility, and he's asking, please point out my mistakes, my shortcomings, and the deficiencies in me. Although he's doing all of this, transcendental realization, pious activities, he's worshipping the deities, doing charity, he's merciful, non-violent, and studying the scriptures under strict disciplinary regulations. All of these things are necessary because they're all helpful. But only if they are being used towards one goal, which is you have to unmute.
Krishna Bhakti.
Yeah, serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes, Jivera Swarup Hoy, Nitya Krishna Das. That's right. Okay, next. Sri Narada Vacha.
Sri
So,
Narada.
yes. Bhavatanudita prayam
Bhavtanudita prayam
Yasho Bhagavato Malam
Yasho Bhagavato Malam
Yenaivaso Natushyeta
Yenaivasu Natushyeta
Manyetad Darshanam Khilam.
Manye Tad Darshanam Kilam.
Sri Narad said, "You have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord is considered worthless." So what is the scene? What is the setting of the scene? That Vyasadeva has compiled the entire Vedas. Which are the four? Rig Veda itself has 4 lakh verses. 4 lakh. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Sam Veda. So he's already composed lakhs and lakhs of verses. Then he has composed the Vedanta Sutra. Then he has composed the Upanishads. Then he has composed the Purans. Then he has composed the Mahabharata. And he has grown old. He's used his entire lifetime following strict Brahmanical vows, discipline and austerity. And yet, well, how should you feel after spending such a life? When you are reaching a ripe old age, how should you feel? Content, satisfied, happy, isn't it? At least. But he's not. He's not. His heart, there is an ache somewhere in his heart. He's not feeling satisfied after compiling such an enormous literary work. And therefore, he does the right thing. I mean, he's sitting by the banks of the Saraswati, very morose and unhappy, when his spiritual master, Narad Muni, knowing the heart of his disciple, appears there. And after paying him his pranams and glorifying his spiritual master, immediately asks him that, tell me why. Why am I feeling this way? Surely something is missing. I've missed something. I'm not doing something. And without wasting any more time, Narad Muni comes to the point, directly to the point. 8th verse, 1.5.8. What does he say? You have not broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the spiritual personality of Godhead. That's why you are unhappy. That philosophy which does not satisfy the senses of the Lord is worthless. Who told you to compile all the Vedas and confuse the people of the earth with Karma Kand and this Kand and that Kand? Earlier there was only one Veda, Samaved. Was it Samaved or Yajurved?
Rig Veda is the oldest, Mataji.
It is the oldest, but there was only one. Maybe Samaved. There was only one earlier. Only one was given to the world.
Okay.
But Vyasadeva converted it into 4.
Oh.
Thinking that, Kali Yuga is coming, people will be bewildered, they will not be able to reach the standard. Let me break it down, so that they can even do, even the lowest of the lowest, or, the most sinful or uninterested also can, do even Karma Kand and come to the level of. So let me break it down and convert it. He bifurcated it and put so much more out there. Nahi tha pehle. So he gave a lot of technical information. Let's read what Prabhupada has to say. The eternal relation of an individual soul with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is constitutionally one of being the eternal servitor of the Eternal Master. Jivera Swarup Hoy, Nitya Krishna Das. This is a fact. The Lord has expanded himself as living beings in order to accept loving service from them. Why? Why has Krishna expanded? He's Atma Ram. There was just Krishna by himself. And then all of us came. Boom. Yes, there was an explosion of Krishna's will. He willed to have relationships. So he populated. That's why everybody came. Well, what was the purpose of that? What was the purpose? He expanded himself as living beings. Why? In order to accept loving service from them. That was the purpose. And this alone can satisfy both Krishna and the living beings. Underline it. Why were we created? Why at all? He doesn't need anybody, right? He's not dependent for his happiness or pleasure on anyone or anything. He's Atmaram. But, so why has he created them? Because कोई खेलने के लिए चाहिए. To increase, when you have increase of pleasure is, yes, we are all inside him. But when we are inside him, he can't play with us. So he manifested us outside so that he can have interaction, loving interaction with all of us and have fun. But the living being, when he came out and saw so much opulence and everything, his plans changed. Oh, let me enjoy by myself. I'm the king of my world. Who are you? Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me all of this and creating me. Goodbye. But no problem in that, except he's not happy, he's not satisfied, whatever he may do. So the Lord has expanded himself as living beings in order to accept loving service from them. And this alone can satisfy both Krishna and the Jiva, which Vyasadeva didn't do, hence he's unhappy. After compiling so much, no glorification of the Lord, just technical information. Do this, you will get that. Do that, you will get this. Where is the glorification of Krishna? Such a scholar as Vyasadeva has completed many expansions of the Vedic literatures, ending with the Vedanta philosophy. But none of them have been written directly glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's all indirect. So it's dry. There is no ras. There is no rasa in it. Dry philosophical speculation, even on transcendental subject, have very little traction without dealing directly with the glorification of the Lord. Jo naam mein ras hai, नाम की ग्लोरिफिकेशन में रस है, भगवान के गुणगान में, उनकी लाइफ स्टोरी पे जो रस है, that's not there in just dry philosophy. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita is the dry philosophy, which is required. But the real rus is in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, more in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What will pacify the heart and nourish the heart and, please the heart is hearing about the Lord. Okay. So the personality of Godhead is the last word in transcendental realization. The absolute realized as impersonal Brahman or localized supersoul, Paramatma, is less productive of transcendental bliss than the supreme personal realization of his glory. So Brahman realization, Paramatma realization can give you some amount of happiness. It's not that you won't get happiness. It will, some amount. But complete transcendental bliss comes from the realization of the glories of the Lord. The compiler of the Vedanta Darshan is Vyasadeva himself. Yet he's troubled, although he's the author. He's the compiler of Vedanta Darshan, the crux of all the Vedas. Vedas are coming from Krishna. So what sort of transcendental bliss can be derived by the readers and listeners of Vedanta, which is not explained directly by Vyasadeva, the author? Such an important line. You can note this down, please. Please write this down. Who made the Vedants? Who compiled the Vedanta Sutra? Vyasdev. Who is unhappy? Vyasdev, after compiling Vedanta Sutra. So, all those who read the Vedanta Sutra or follow the Vedanta Sutra as the goal of life, expecting to be happy, will they be happy? Straightforward. Straightforward. All those who say, no, we are not interested in bhakti, we will go some other way. Oh, but it's written the other way, there is no happiness there. The compiler of the Vedanta Sutra himself is unhappy. So the readers of that Vedanta Sutra, what sort of bliss can be derived by those readers and listeners of the Vedanta? Isn't that such a logical point? Herein arises the necessity of explaining Vedanta Sutra in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by the self same author. Uske baad Bhagavatam ka birth hua. Until then, Bhagavatam had not been compiled. And then at that ripe old age, he composed another 18,000 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. In his old age. So Bhagavatam was born out of unhappiness. Okay, next. Yatha dharmadayaschartha.
Yatha dharmadayaschartha.
Muni varyanukirtitaha.
Muni varyanukirtitaha.
Na tatha vasudevasya.
Na tatha vasudevasya.
Mahima hi anuvarnitaha.
Mahimahi anuvarnitaha.
Although great sage, you have very broadly described the 4 principles, beginning with religious performances. You have not described the glories of Vasudev Krishna. Narad Muni bol rahe hain. Guru bol rahe hain shishya ko. It's the perfect setting. Guru can tell his disciple, he's the best person to point out. So he's saying, yes, आपने religious performances खूब बताए, rituals खूब समझाए, कैसे करना है, क्यों करना है, कर्मकांड खूब अच्छे से समझाया, कैसे देवी देवताओं की पूजा करनी है, कौन से देवी देवताओं की पूजा से क्या मिलेगा, है ना, वर्ण बना दिए, सब कुछ कर दिया. लेकिन ये सब चीजें किसके लिए करनी है? अगर आपने उस परम परमात्मा को, द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड को अगर आपने ग्लोरीफाई नहीं किया, उनकी पोजीशन अभी स्थापित नहीं की, what are the people going to get by following all these principles and regulations? They will just keep on satisfying their senses. They will get trapped into sense gratification. But the purpose of life is to come out of sense gratification. So they will be misled. And consequently, what will happen? Oh, spiritual life is not going to give me happiness. They will abandon spiritual life altogether. So it is doing more disservice than service. Spiritual life ही छोड़ सकते हैं. The prompt diagnosis of Sri Narad is at once declared. This is the sign of a merciful and caring Guru. He does not dilly-dally or mince his words. Like a sword, direct to the point. The root cause of the despondency. What is the meaning of despondency?
Sadness.
Sadness. Morose.
Unhappiness.
Unhappiness. Dictionary meaning क्या है?
देख के बताते हैं. यही होना चाहिए. निराशा.
Nirash the. Huh? The despondency of Vyasadeva was his deliberate avoidance. He was deliberately avoiding glorifying the Lord in his various editions of the Puranas. He has certainly, as a matter of course, given descriptions of the glories of Sri Krishna, but not as many as given to religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation. What is it? हिंदी में इन चारों को क्या बोलते हैं? 4 things. धर्म,
अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष.
हाँ, धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष. So सभी वेदास में if you read it, the reader को just as a summary क्या मिलता है? That the focus is more on dharma, arth, kam, moksha, not on bhaj govindam, bhaj govindam, bhaj govindam. That message is not coming across. हाँ, बीच-बीच में glorify हुए हैं, but ज़्यादा glorification हुआ है धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष का. So उनको impression ये मिला, उस direction में चल पड़ी सारी जनता. So actually the Guru chastised. This is a chastisement of Vyasadeva. Why? Why did you do this? You've confused the janta of Kalyug. Already वो confused है कलयुग में. तुमने और उनको कर्म कांड में डाल दिया, धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष में डाल दिया. These 4 items are by far inferior. Which 4 items?
धर्म, अर्थ,
धर्म, कर्म, काम, मोक्ष.
They are inferior to engagement in the devotional service of Vasudeva Krishna. ये भक्ति के बहुत 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 inferior है. Srila Vyasadeva, as the authorized scholar, knew very well this difference. It's not that he was ignorant. He knew. Still, he did it. And still, instead of giving more importance to the better type of engagement, namely what?
धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष.
Bhakti. Instead of giving more importance to bhaktya, he had more or less improperly used his valuable time. And therefore he was despondent. So it's very important how you're using your time, my dear friends. How you spend your time will decide how happy or sad you are at the end of your day, at the end of your week, at the end of your month, at the end of your year, at the end of your life. Don't think that we can work and be happy. No, everything will add up. Little things will add up. Every minute how you spend it will add up to the quality of your happiness. So he had improperly used his valuable time, और उसका नतीजा क्या हुआ? Unhappy. सरस्वती के किनारे बैठकर गुमसुम, lamenting. From this, it is clearly indicated that no one can be pleased substantially without being engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, this fact is clearly mentioned. Where? Where is it clearly mentioned? Sarva dharman parityajya mama ekam sharam vraja. Abandon all kinds of religion. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Just mam ekam, only me, just surrender unto me. इससे डायरेक्ट कोई क्या बोलेगा? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshyami. I will release you of the reactions of all your sinful reactions of not only this life, all your previous millions of lifetimes. Ma shuchaha, do not fear. What more directness do you want? Bhagwan dikhte nahi. भगवान कहाँ है, भगवान कौन है, हमें करना क्या है? Why do these questions arise? Isn't it clearly answered in the Bhagavad Gita now? भगवान कौन है? अहम सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते 10.8. इससे ज्यादा डायरेक्ट आंसर कहाँ मिलेगा? I am the original of material worlds also, spiritual worlds also. Everything comes from me. Everything. क्या करना है हमें? सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य. Abandon is the word. परित्यज्य, throw, discard, leave, abandon, midway, half unfinished, abandon. जैसे जब शिप, नेवी का शिप is hit by a missile of the enemy and there is very little time, what does the captain speak, announce on the speaker, emergency speaker? Abandon ship.
Evacuated. Yeah.
Abandon ship. Abandon means जो भी कर रहे हो उसको immediately छोड़ो और पानी में कूदो, भागो. Don't waste time because you're going to die. Abandon ship का मतलब होता है immediate. What is Krishna saying? Sarvadharman parityajya. Abandon whatever you are doing. Guru, Baba, this, that, this Guru, that Guru, this Mata, that Mata. Abandon everything. Mavekam Sharanam Braja. इससे ज़्यादा क्या डायरेक्ट चाहिए? And he knew. Vyasdev knew. He knew this difference. But this is after liberation, which is the last item in the line of performing religiosity. One is engaged in pure devotional service. So when does liberation, bhakti come? Mukti ke baad. So mukti, very clearly, this line also one heavy statement has come. Mukti is lower than bhakti. Moksha is lower than bhakti. That's what people are saying. Sanatan Dharam, Hindu Dharam में क्या बोलते हैं? मोक्ष चाहिए एंड में, तो बस मेडिटेशन में ध्यान में बैठ जाओ, परमात्मा में लीन हो जाओ, मोक्ष. बट मोक्ष के बाद, what is moksha is the last item in the line of religiosity. धर्म जो पूरी उम्र फॉलो करते हैं वो धर्म ends at मोक्ष और भक्ति starts after मोक्ष. So don't think you have become some great thing कि आप मोक्ष, वो बाबा बड़े पहुंचे हुए बाबा हैं, मोक्ष मिल चुका है उनको. Bhaktas kick moksha. They are not interested in moksha. Yes, Bharti.
Mataji, this is too confusing. मोक्ष के बाद भक्ति मिलती है. That is confusing.
Why? What is moksha?
Moksha is we are free from this body.
Yes. Good. We are free from this body. And we are free from... You're free from this body, yes. Are you free from the cycle of birth and death also eternally?
No.
No. तो फिर? But bhakti will free you from the cycle of birth and death. Moksha, you're only free from the body. क्या फर्क हुआ? What's the difference?
But when will alive, when will, तभी तो हम कर पाएंगे भक्ति. अभी जैसे मतलब अभी it's a baby step only, जो procedure है हम लोगों का. Those people we are in Krishna consciousness. But अब ये चीज है कि जो लोग नहीं है और वही जो साधु महात्मा है, those people who are sitting in meditation, वो लोग उनको मोक्ष हो गया, तो फिर how come till come in भक्ति? फिर उनको कैसे भक्ति का क्या रहेगा?
हाँ, बट आपका पहला क्वेश्चन पहले आंसर करते.
When we have left our body, then how come we can go to भक्ति? फिर भक्ति कैसे मिलेगी जब हमने अपनी बॉडी ही छोड़ दी?
Okay, that's your question. Anybody wants to answer that?
Sir, my understanding, Mataji, जितना हमने सुना है, that when we start realizing ourselves as a soul, not as a body, तो वहां से मोक्ष की शुरुआत होती है. And within that understanding, with that understanding, हम आत्मज्ञान के बाद हम जब परमात्मा के ज्ञान की तरफ जाते हैं, then the journey starts towards bhakti.
Yes.
That's what my understanding.
Yes. So moksha means at least you have realized that I'm not this body. I'm the soul inside the body. I'm the driver of this body. The real me is the driver of this body, but I'm not this body. यहाँ तक की understanding वाले को मोक्ष बोलेंगे.
Okay.
But that driver is a servant of Krishna. ये understanding अभी नहीं आई है. So such a person will be in Brahma Jyoti for some time. Not in Vaikunt, not in Golok, not in the spiritual sky. He will just be in that Brahma Jyoti. But वहाँ पे क्योंकि ये understanding नहीं है that I am a servant of the Lord, so that means he will not be performing any service also. He will just be roaming around free, which will not give him satisfaction or happiness. With time he will become bored because there's nothing to do, there is no engagement. So the soul will again hanker for something. That hankering, which is actually service of the Lord, उसको समझ नहीं है उस बात की. Again he falls down. Hence, devotees kick moksha. It's not permanent. You can again fall down and again, birth again, death again, birth again, death again in the womb of mother, pata nahi kaun si species. So why do you have to take a risky route? जा भी सकते हो वहां से, जा भी सकते हो मोक्ष ब्रह्म ज्योति से. Neha, you were trying to say something?
No, Mataji, I was looking at Anu and smiling. I thought she's sleeping.
She is.
No, I'm not sleeping.
Seems like उसका मोक्ष यहीं पे हो गया. ब्रह्म ज्योति भी मिल गई.
I am not sleeping.
We will ask Anu to summarize now.
Ask her.
Oh my God.
अनु जितना comfortably आप couch पे बैठोगे ना sofa will take you to sleep only. Never to sit for the class on sofa or bed.
It's
No,
the
no.
lap of Maya.
एक्चुअली सुबह से मैं टेबल चेयर पे बैठे बैठे ना मेरे पीछे बैक एक होने लगी. मैंने सोचा लेट मी टेक दिस.
Gita class is the time to relax.
Relax.
Abandon all the right.
और थोड़ा अच्छा ज्ञान अपने में डालो और रिलैक्स करो. योर माइंड.
Yeah.
वो रिलैक्स करो का तेरा वो बोल रही है तेरे को मॉकिंगली, तेरे को खुशी खुशी नहीं बोल रही है, गलत समझ रही है.
This is called the stage of self-realization or Brahma Bhuta stage. After attainment of this Brahma Bhuta stage, one is satisfied. The way Anu has attained the Brahma Bhuta stage and she's completely satisfied. But this satisfaction is the beginning of transcendental bliss. So one should progress by attaining neutrality and equality in the relative world. And passing this stage of equanimity, one is fixed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Ultimately, we have to come. The goal of life is not a relief from death or relief from the body or relief from... What is the ultimate goal of life? That you get a taste to serve the Lord, to become a servant of the Lord. This is bhakti. Mukti is temporary. Have you understood the difference? Mukti is... Vaishnavas spit on Mukti Devi. Sorry, not Mukti Devi, I shouldn't say that. They respect everyone, but they do not give it any importance. They reject. They don't even look that way. Somebody is offering it to them, they reject. Anything that is devoid of service of the Lord and his devotees is distasteful. So service चाहिए हमें. उसके लिए qualification चाहिए. क्यों? यहाँ ordinary companies में भी वो कितना screening करते हैं to appoint you. They ask you, why should we hire you? आपको बताना पड़ता है, मैं ये कर सकती हूँ आपकी कंपनी के लिए, ये कर सकती हूँ. आपको मेरी जरूरत है. ऐसे ही आपको सेम बताना है, कृष्ण को भी बताना पड़ेगा, मुझे हायर कर लो गोलोक में, मैं ये कर सकती हूँ। वो पूछेंगे क्यों ले आपको गोलोक में, क्या कर सकते हो, आके यहाँ का माहौल तो नहीं बिगाड़ोगे। So this whole life is a preparation to be qualified to be able to serve the Lord. ऐसे ही थोड़ी सर्विस मिल जाएगी। Why? Well, he has millions and trillions of servants. उनको कहाँ servants की कमी है? Why should he take you and me? ठोक बजा के लेंगे, प्रॉपर स्क्रीनिंग होगी। Hence no mukti, Bharti. Only bhakti. Mukti is trash. What's the conclusion? The conclusion is that in order to maintain the status quo of the Brahmabhut stage, as also to increase the degree of transcendental realization, Narad recommended to Vyasadeva that he, Vyasadeva, should now eagerly and repeatedly describe the path of devotional service. This will cure him from his gross despondency. Automatically, the unhappiness and the dukh from his heart will vanish the moment he starts glorifying the Lord. बहुत बड़ी बात है to glorify the Lord. इसको छोटा मत समझो, because ये हमारे कल्चर में इतनी इनबिल्ट है और इतना साधारण हमने इसको देखा है. We have started taking it very cheaply. ओ ये हर मंदिर में राम का भजन हो रहा है, राम नाम गाते रहते हैं, झांकियां निकल रही हैं, प्रभात फेरी निकल रही है, राम राम करते रहते हैं, एक दूसरे को गांव में बोलते हैं तब भी राम राम कर रहे हैं. There is a very big साइंस बिहाइंड इट. और उन्होंने उसको इतना इजी बना दिया ताकि समाज का हर आदमी इसमें पार्टिसिपेट कर सके, जानवर से लेके इलिटरेट तक भी. इसलिए वी हैव स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग दिस इज नथिंग, वी नीड समथिंग मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, वी नीड सम मोर सोफिस्टिकेटेड वे ऑफ वर्शिप or religion. But all this is actually glorifying the Lord, and glorification of the Lord में बहुत ताकत है और बहुत खुशी भी है. Real खुशी वहीं पे है, when you start tasting relation. Okay, so I think we should stop here. We've done what, 4 verses. So what is the conclusion for today? Anuji. बताइए.
You're asking backbencher student to start.
नहीं, all front back कोई नहीं है, middle front back सबकी बारी आएगी, तुम चिंता मत करो.
So what I've learned is Vyasadeva, even after writing Vedas, Vedanta Sutras, was not satisfied. He was still feeling that there was some ache in his heart that he wanted to create something, and he created something else. He has given all the rituals and all the procedures to do worship and do all the other activities related though to Lord himself, but it was not actually taking the entire mankind to the path of devotional service, and hence was his despondency was quite apparent. So he went to his guru Narad Muni to ask for that. And as Narad Muni already knew the real cause behind his dissatisfaction, very clearly in an upfront manner, he said that you've given so much to the entire creation, entire mankind, but you have not actually given the source of devotional service. You have given earth, you have given moksha and everything, economic development, salvation, and religiosity, sense gratification, everything you've given. But though you have mentioned a little about Lord in between all this, but that is not sufficient at all. You have to actually clearly show them the path of devotional service only, because that is the very purpose of them being there. Because God ने अपने ही अंश को बाहर इसलिए निकाला है कि वो उनके साथ I mean, so that he can play around with him only, not with anybody else. Or they are not there to actually enjoy the world. They are there to do, I mean, devotional service of Lord Himself. And just like by doing so, they are not going to attain bhakti. They'll just be able to roam around that Brahman Jyoti. They'll not be able to go beyond that. So that is the crux of this today's discussion, as I've understood, that after liberation, so from this it is clearly indicated that no one can be pleased substantially without being engaged in the devotional service of Lord. There's nothing beyond bhakti. So devotional service is the crux of everything. So do anything around, but do it for the Lord, to serve Him, to please Him, to I mean, make Him the center of everything. And then only, I mean, it is like even beyond the moksha is just, I mean, just a pebble which can be crossed, but you cannot attain Him unless and until you are walking on the path of bhakti. So this is what I have understood.
Good job. She wasn't sleeping after all, huh, Neha? इसने तो किसी के लिए छोड़ा ही नहीं.
हाँ ठीक है, चलो पास कर दिया.
Thank you, Neha.
Yeah, but why should everything revolve around Krishna only? Yaar? He's such an egoist. Huh?
No.
Come on, defeat me. Such an egoistic person. मेरी है ममे वंश जीव लोके जीव भूत सनातना. मैं ही सब कुछ हूँ. मुझे ही सर्व धर्मान परित्यज्य. सब कुछ छोड़ दो. मेरी ही शरण में आओ. मुझे ही पूजो. मेरी ही भक्ता करो. मेरी मेरी मैं. हाँ? और हमें सिखाते हैं हम ममेती में मत पड़ो. मैं और मेरा में मत पड़ो. और खुद सारा टाइम कहते रहते हैं मैं. Huh? What is this? Why is he such an ego?
He's the only one.
Because
He's the only one.
because he wants the loving service from us, जिससे कि we will be happy, plus he will be also happy from us.
Yes, that's the right answer. Well said. Anybody else wants to add to that?
He wants
People
to
can say this, no?
Yeah,
Bhagavad
he
Gita
wants to
mein
say,
forget.
he wants
Yeah.
to say again and again, मैं तुम्हारा पिता हूँ. I am your father. Please follow me. Listen to my instructions. So that's why again and again he is saying me. Listen to me. जैसे हम भी बच्चों को बोलते रहते हैं ना माता जी घर पे. Please listen to us. हम तुम्हारे भले के लिए कह रहे हैं. Same way, Krishna is telling
लेकिन
us
अब तो
again.
बच्चे बोलते हैं कि हम आपकी क्यों सुने हैं.
हाँ,
ये बोलते हैं,
exactly.
क्यों सुने
देखो
क्यों?
बच्चों को, लेकिन हमारे बच्चे खुश तो है नहीं उससे, और को खुशी मिलती भी नहीं है. अकेले ही ज्यादा खुशी मिलती है. हॉस्टल में ज्यादा मजा है. घर के अंदर क्या मजा है रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस में. So, I mean, why would the children listen to the parents once they have become adults? कि हम भी बड़े हैं, हमें भी बुद्धि है ना? We also know. So, why is he saying this again and again? Come on. पूछेंगे ना आपको. People will ask when you
Yeah.
preach.
He is giving you instruction कि मैं ये हूँ, but साथ साथ उन्होंने आपको free will भी दी है. ये नहीं बोल रहे कि बता रहे हैं कि ये सही है. जैसे हम बच्चों को इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं कि देखो बेटा ये सही है, आप ये करोगे तो फायदा होगा, बाकी आपकी मर्जी है. In the same way, he's telling you that you know what, if you want happiness, if you want to grow in life, if you want everything, then मेरे को पूछो, मैं तुम्हारी सारी नीड्स देख लूंगा. So in the same way, he's doing it with us. But हमको कोई फोर्स तो नहीं कर रहे ना कि मेरा ही नाम लो और हम और किसी का मत लो और बाकी से हम हमारा ऐसा कुछ बंद तो नहीं किया उन्होंने.
Yes, that's a good argument. हाँ जी अनु.
As you have explained in verse 8 just now, it is written in the purport that the Lord has expanded himself as living beings in order to accept the loving service from them, and this alone can satisfy both the Lord and the living beings. Such a scholar, that's not relevant at the moment. So I understand, what I've understood from this is why Krishna only, because we are the part and parcel of him only. So he has expanded in ye baki sara is to I mean, only this can satisfy both the Lord and the living beings. हम भी उसी से satisfy होंगे जब हम उनकी devotional service करेंगे, and obviously Lord will get pleased and he'll see that we are actually most attracted towards him because he is the seed, he is the beach.
So if you are doing dharma, arth, kam, moksha, what is dharma? Following the principles given by him. धर्म किसने बनाया? वेद किसने बनाए? कृष्ण ने, है ना? So अगर हम धर्म फॉलो कर रहे हैं, अर्थ फॉलो कर रहे हैं, अर्थ अकॉर्डिंग टू स्ट्रिक्ट रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, अर्थ मींस अर्निंग मनी, अर्निंग योर लाइवलीहुड. दुनिया में आए हैं तो वो भी करना है, उसके बगैर जिंदगी कैसे चलेगी? धर्म, अर्थ, काम एंड मोक्ष. काम के बगैर प्रोजनी आगे नहीं आएगी. अब एनी काइंड ऑफ अटैचमेंट अगर नहीं होगी बिजनेस के साथ, काम के साथ अटैचमेंट नहीं होगी तो वो काम करोगे कैसे? सो यू नीड काम also to able to do your duty well, and then ultimately मोक्ष मिल जाएगा आपको. After you've finished all your duties, वानप्रस्थ हो जाएगा, संन्यास हो जाएगा, and then you will be detached from your घर बार बच्चे everything, and you will get मोक्ष. What's wrong with that? वो भी तो हम, yes.
नहीं, ये उन्होंने
but-
लिखा था वेदास में, यू नो, धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष, दे रिटन इन द वेदास, जो कि पहले उन्होंने बताया था व्यास देव ने, दैट यू इफ यू फॉलो दिस साइकिल यू विल गेट मोक्ष. But what happened was that people started taking deviations out of it. People were not following it to the verbatim. They started earning money through religious principle and they started satisfying their desires. So ultimately, and they were using the principles to you know what, to do wrong things. इसीलिए वो उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो सर्विस है ये ठीक नहीं है और इसलिए आपको डिवोशनल सर्विस करोगे तो ही आपको आगे जाने को मिलेगा.
Okay, yes, Anu.
I just want to add something to Neha, what Neha said. और जो आपने कहा, मतलब उसमें I think, I don't know whether I am eligible to speak in front of all of you, but मुझे लगता है कि we should keep Krishna at the center of all our activities, do whatever, but it has to, actually it was once discussed in front of Supriya Mataji also, that everything should actually be utilized for the service of Krishna. I think once she asked the question also ki mobile phone hai, we own like different varieties of costly and prized mobile phones to use, but how would you use your phone in the service of Krishna? How would you use your vehicle for the service of Krishna? So I think Himangini Mataji answered, or Vaiji answered. It was very, very beautifully answered by, I don't remember the person's name, but it was nicely answered that you should keep Krishna at the center of all your activities.
That we all agree. हम सब इस क्लास में हैं, भागवतम की क्लास में हैं, and भागवतम is glorification of Krishna. So okay, we all agree कि उनका glorification करना है. ये हम डिस्कस ये कर रहे हैं, क्यों भाई? धर्म, अर्थ, काम, मोक्ष भी तो उसी की इनडायरेक्ट ग्लोरिफिकेशन ही है, उसी के बताया हुआ रास्ता है, वेदों में लिखा है. क्यों करना है?
Even Vyasadeva, Mataji, even Vyasadeva, when he created all the Vedas and Upanishads, then also he was unsatisfied, he was unhappy. Then हमारी क्या वो है, हम तो we are just like living beings. So in the last we have to do Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Seva to satisfy us and to make Krishna happy, because Krishna ji bhi usi se happy honge. That's the purpose of creating us. That's why he created us.
So what is the bottom line? What is that one reason why we have to do this? To be
that mukti is temporary and bhakti is ultimate soul. Ultimate thing.
Because Krishna is the cause of all causes.
Yeah.
We know
Ishvara Param Krishna.
Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karana.
Cause of all causes, he is the cause of all causes. So we have to render service to him only.
So it is said in Brahma Samhita that Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha
Anadir Adir.
Sarva Karana Karana.
Very good, splendid. Hanji Vinita Amma, you're the only one who hasn't spoken, so let's hear from you.
Yes, Mataji, end goal तो कृष्णा को ही हमें पाना है ना, तो इसलिए उन्हीं को ही खुश करना पड़ेगा, उनके पास जाना है तो. और ये हमारे पास फ्री विल है हमारे पास कि अगर हम कृष्णा को चाहेंगे तो हमें कृष्णा मिलेंगे, अगर हम और देवी देवता को पूजेंगे या उनका भक्ति करेंगे तो हमें उनके पास भेज देंगे कृष्णा। तो इसलिए हमें कृष्णा मतलब मेरा तो ब्लाइंड फेथ है कि बस मुझे कृष्णा को ही मतलब अल्टीमेटली उन्हीं को खुश करना है, उन्हीं की सेवा करनी है।
क्यों?
क्योंकि हमें गोलोक धाम जाना है, वापिस अपने घर जाना है यहाँ से।
और गोलोक क्यों जाना है? वैकुंठ भी जा सकते हैं और भी कहीं जा सकते हैं।
घर हमारा गोलोक धाम ही है तो हमें वहीं जाना है। अब टाइम पास सीधा उधर नहीं करना, सीधा अपने घर जाना है।
Okay, so all of you have answered, of course, correctly, very, very nicely. What I was looking for, that one word that I was looking for was, what are we all looking for? हमें क्या चाहिए? हम क्या चाहते हैं? Right now, if I ask you, what do you want?
कृष्ण
Krishna Bhakti.
नहीं, philosophical answer नहीं. If I ask you in your life, practically today, wherever you are right now, what do you want? हम सबको क्या चाहिए जीवन से?
Happiness.
Eternal happiness.
Definitely.
खुशी, happiness चाहिए.
Happiness.
Ultimately, हम किस चीज को ढूंढ रहे हैं?
Happiness.
इतना कुछ कर लिया, घर गृहस्थी बच्चे ये वो, for what? For what?
Happiness.
Happiness,
And what is happiness? What is happiness? What kind of happiness are we looking for?
Not a temporary, but permanent
Eternal.
happiness.
permanent.
So what is that permanent happiness? Love. We are all looking for love. कुछ भी आप, if you sit down and go deep into whatever you are doing right now, या अगर आपको कोई कहीं से दुख मिला, क्यों दुख मिला? कि आपको जहां से चाहिए था उस पर्सन से अफेक्शन नहीं मिला. It's not money, it's not facilities, it is not accessories, it is actually affection. We all want love. कोई हमारी केयर करे, कोई हमें मीठे बोल बोले. Somebody who looks after me, who asks me what I need, who gives me care and affection. Isn't this what we really want? झगड़े भी किसी से होते हैं कि वहां से आपको अफेक्शन की एक्सपेक्टेशन थी और नहीं मिली, इसीलिए रिलेशनशिप्स खराब होती है ना. कि जो मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रही थी, वो क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रही थी? अफेक्शन, केयर, अटेंशन, नॉट मनी. Ultimately, what are we all seeking? Love. Which is my right. We are all looking for love and happiness. And therefore, we have no other place but Krishna. This is the complete and the right answer. Not कि रूल है, रेगुलेशन है, क्योंकि कृष्ण ने बनाया है इसलिए ड्यूटी है, इसलिए उनको सर्व करना है. नो, आई एम आस्किंग, लुकिंग फॉर लव. इसलिए तो मैं भटक रही हूँ. मात लोक, स्वर्ग लोक, पाताल लोक, दिस लोक, दैट लोक, इतने लोकों के चक्कर काट के आते हैं. लिजर्ड बॉडी, कॉकरोच बॉडी, डोंकी बॉडी, हॉर्स बॉडी, एलिफेंट बॉडी, बॉडी टू बॉडी भटक रहे हैं फॉर लव. वी आर लुकिंग फॉर अफेक्शन. वो एक भूख है अंदर जो नहीं तृप्त हो रही. एंड द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज दैट लव इज ओनली फाउंड इन द रिवर, इन द लेक कॉल्ड कृष्णा. दिस इज द आंसर. जो प्यास लगी हुई है वो पानी केवल कृष्ण नाम की नदी में ही है, वही जाके बुझेगी. बिकॉज वी आर ऑल थर्स्टी. न फैमिली से ये प्यास बुझ रही है, न बच्चों से ये प्यास बुझ रही है, न लविंग केयरिंग हस्बैंड से ये प्यास बुझ रही है, न पेरेंट्स से ये प्यास बुझ रही है. कुछ एक्सटेंट तक बुझ रही है, बट स्टिल इट्स देयर. इसीलिए हम भटक रहे हैं फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर टू हियर टू हियर. Deep down, we want love. We want care, affection. Therefore, Krishna. Does it make sense? Not out of duty. Okay? Thank you so much for your time. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Vancha